Alright, Shalom Akim. Before I get started with the lesson, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem HaRakakodash. And of course, as always, double honors to our apostles and elders that rule well at Great Millstone, and also Shalom to all you sincere Akim, preaching this word in all truth and in sincerity. So I'm just going to play this video, and I'm going to jump into a scripture. Alright, so here it goes.
This is Dabu 7. We have the mayor of Elizabeth City, North Carolina, declaring a state of emergency here ahead of them releasing body cam footage of a police shooting and killing of a 42-year-old black man named Andrew Brown Jr. Now, Brown was shot last week after reportedly driving away from officers as they were said to be executing a search warrant. We have activists that are pressing for clearer details, more information, and today the family was able to go in and view this footage, the body cam footage, and Mayor Betty Parker said that she expects a period of civil unrest once this footage is released to the public. Now, I will state that from just the initial information that we got out of this, and as I've stated here, it seemed like they were trying to conduct a search warrant, and the guy drove off, and then they opened fire. If this man did not have a weapon or did not put anyone's life into jeopardy or anything like that, you can expect the people will be taken to the street en masse, and this will be just the latest event here in a short time frame where we've seen stuff like this spawning up here across America. Now, in North Carolina, the law requires a court order to release such footage. So they say the city council already voted unanimously to request its release. So any point from here, this release could happen, and they expect some things to go down in Elizabeth City. Now, join me for the live stream. Tonight, I'm going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern.
So yeah, you heard it first that all these shootings that are taking place, between so-called white police officers and so-called minorities, all right, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, but chiefly blacks, so-called blacks, which those three denominations are Israelites, all right, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, those are the Israelites. All right, and the head tribe being Judah, which are you so-called black people, you so-called Negroes, you so-called African Americans. All right, you're Judah, and that's why they're shooting you. Okay, because as the scripture says, I'm gonna get it real quick. This is Genesis 49, and I'm gonna start at 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Gather yourselves together, and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. So our forefather Jacob, all right, was prophesying unto his sons, okay, the 12 tribes, the 12 patriarchs, and telling them what shall befall them in the last days, all right, in the end times. And we're living in the end times. Okay, so I'm going to jump to the point in chapter 8. It says Judah. Now Judah, once again, are the so-called Negroes. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. And Judah all right, is going to be the praised tribe, because a lot of trends, okay, are excelled by Judah. A lot of these sports, a lot of great things in this world are excelled by Judah, you know. And also, the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. His real name is Yahushai. He, all right, is the ultimate Judite. He came from the lineage of David, okay, which is Judah. He's a Judite. So Judah is going to be the tribe that his brethren shall praise, meaning the other tribes are going to get in order under Judah, all right, which is Yahushai. It says, thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. And in Esau's system, all right, you could count his system as a body. Well, Jacob is in the neck of that system. Jacob, or Slakia Judah, has excelled to the head of that body. That's why you got Judites that are sergeants, captains. They're high-ranked officials within Esau's military, within the FBI, within the CIA. All these different high-level organizations that Esau has within the society. And not just that, going back into the entertainment system, to the entertainment world, I should say, whether it comes to music or sports. You had basketball. What happened? Jake got in basketball. Judah got in basketball and dominated it, man. Football. Okay, wrestling, UFC, boxing. All they had left was hockey. Now you're starting to see Judites, okay, on these hockey teams. And it's pissing Esau off really bad. Okay, the last music that they really have a strong foot in is country. And now look, you got these these rappers, these Judite rappers, making country style rap music, man, or country music. Okay, at a higher level. There was a few songs I listened to, like Old Town Road. We know that little Nas X, or whatever his name is. We know his orientation. But before that all came out, I never thought that was a Judite. I thought it was just an Edomite or a Jake that looked like an Edomite that came out with that song. But when you seen the music video, it was Lil Nas X. Okay, a Judite, a so-called black man. Then you had this other one that came out after that. I think it's called I forget what it's called. I'm not sure of the name. I'll just look it up real quick for you guys. Okay, there it is right there. It's the Get Up, okay, by Blanco Brown. All right, and before seeing the video, once again, didn't know if it was a so-called white man or a so-called black man or a so-called brown man, a so-called Latino. But it turns out it's a so-called black man. And that's, pissing Esau off. That's showing you that Jacob is in the neck, all right, of his system. Okay. It says, thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion. And as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? Okay. So Judah has become like an old lion. All right. A young lion, a whelp, They're tenacious, man. They're eager to hunt prey. Okay, they're eager to chase prey. All right, but as a lion becomes older, it loses that. It loses that tenacity. It loses its strength. All right, they start having to rely after hunting weaker game. Sick game, wounded game. Versus when they were younger, they would take down anything. So that's how Judah's become. All right, at one time, Judah was very revolutionary minded. All right, you had the Young Lords, the Black Panther movement. Okay, all these different movements that were, very revolutionary. But that died out, and Jake became very docile, very weak-minded. But that is all being changed as of right now with all these shootings. You got more Jakes coming together, seeing eye to eye. You got more Jakes wanting to riot. Okay, that are prejudiced against so-called white people in general. But the Lord's turning that hate up. Okay. Why? Because right now He's rousing Judah up, and the way He's doing that, all right, is by these blunt attacks by Esau, the so-called white man. All right, He's using Esau, the so-called white man, to wake you Jakes up, man. Okay, like that Dabu 7 video. Because you Jakes, all right, you Israelites, starting with Judah, need to wake up, man. Need to realize that this is not your rest, that this place is totally against you as a nation. And as you wonder why, the truth is being thrown at you, man. Okay? You got brothers in every major city, man, preaching this word. Now, when I say every major city here in America, man, where you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are predominantly at. All right? And what's going to happen is, Esau's trying to rouse you up. Okay, the Lord's rousing you up, and Esau's trying to rouse you up for the wrong intention. Okay, so that you can start killing, start destroying this society. So he can roll out with that martial law. All right, I was going to get that, but I'm going to just jump to this and I'm going to close it. This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them," which is the brothers in the know. The Judites, okay, the Ephraimites, the 12 tribes that are in the know. We rejoice as we see all these judgments and calamities come upon this earth, because we well understand that it's prophecy, that it's needed. Okay, the scriptures tell you that everything has to come to pass in order for Yahushua to return. Okay, it says, "Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea," which is all you people that are outside this word, that are outside this truth. Okay, that includes 2/3 of our people. That includes these other nations and Esau, the so-called white man. Those are the inhabitants of the earth and the sea. And the word woe means destruction. So it's saying destruction is coming for you. Destruction is going to come upon you. Now, the way you prevent that from happening is by taking heed to the word. But first and foremost, that can only be done if you're an Israelite. The Lord didn't come to save everybody. He only came to save Israelites. And only 1/3 at that. 2/3 are not going to be saved. It says, "For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." So Esau has a short time to reign. All right, that's why he's, causing all these cops to kill so-called black people, so that when you uprise, he can sign off executive orders to unleash martial law. All right? And so they can exterminate you solely based off your identity. Okay? When they passed the Patriot Act allowed them to be justified for coming against citizens if they expect them to be any kind of a terrorist or radical. All right? And there's bills that have been passed that replace the Patriot Act. Okay? That's why there's more police brutality, more police harassment, because they got laws and bills that they passed to justify them in doing these things. All right? So the more you march, the more you protest, the more you try to revolutionize yourselves, okay, we'll expect Esau to harass you more. Expect for Esau to work a case against you, man. Because eventually he's going to come down with that great wrath. He's doing it now. Oh man, when there's martial law in these streets, civil unrest, like that video was talking about, okay, when that really starts to unfold, this guy is going to come out with some heavy-duty equipment to lay you Israelites down, starting with the tribe of Judah. All right? So be circumspect, man. All right? Don't be going to these protests. Don't be rioting. Don't be looting. Don't get involved, okay? Especially if you call yourself spiritual. Especially if you call yourself an Israelite, man. Okay? The Israelites are spiritual warriors. All right? What I mean by that on this side, we got to be spiritual. You're supposed to be spiritual. All right? The scriptures say a carnal mind is enmity with the Most High. Meaning if you're constantly wanting to fight, constantly thinking about overthrowing this devil physically, okay, you are an enemy to the Lord. Because having a carnal mind is enmity with the Most High. You got to be spiritual minded. Now that doesn't mean you can't defend yourself. That doesn't mean you're not going to get mad. Okay, all that means is you're going to wait for Yahweh Shai, right, to put this devil down. And I'm going to close it with that. So that's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3. Okay, it says, therefore, wait ye upon me, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, until the day that I rise up to the prey. The Lord's saying, wait upon him, wait for him. Okay, he's going to rise upon Esau, which is the prey. He's going to rise up against him. It says, for my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms. All these nations right now, they're being assembled, they're being gathered to fight in World War III, to fight against each other. And when they begin to fight against each other, okay, as they're destroying one another and they're all being weakened, the Lord's going to appear and fry them up. It says to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. You see? So we don't have to do anything. We don't have to pick up guns and, fight against Esau. Although Esau is being wicked in this present world, the Lord is going to handle all that for us. Okay, we don't need to go toe-to-toe with this devil. And even if we tried, it wouldn't be enough. Because his blessing is the sword. Okay? That's like you trying to break into somebody's house. Somebody that was well prepared, waiting for it, knows, you were coming. He's setting up booby traps. You know, he has a spot that he could hide and strike. You go into the house, you're going to get butchered. So it's the same thing with us. We can't fight Esau on his own playing field. Okay, we need to wait for the Lord. The Lord is going to rise up against Esau. Okay, and use the weapons of his indignation against him. All right, which are those nukes and those chariots. So to all you Israelites out there, you know, be spiritual. All right, build your faith. You know, turn back to the Lord. That way when Esau comes in, the Lord protects you. So with that, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Harakakwadash. And of course, as always, double honors to our apostles and elders that were well a great millstone. And shalom to the elect.